get myself situated.
Kick this thing off. So, what is your full name, or what is your company name, as well as your title at the company?
My name is Karen Quiet, and I am the credit and collections manager for Leviton company, also known as Berk.
Okay, and start things off. How would you describe how technology's impact on your company has been from the time that you were first inducted into the company to the current day?
Well, there's multiple platforms now as far as computers. So from the time that I've started with this company, we've had different platforms such as like SAP and Oracle and Outlook, things like that, to better communicate with customers as well as other employees to do our jobs.
So, considering you're in a semi-hybrid work environment, would you consider this as a freedom that has increased your productivity, or would you say it's more decreased your productivity?
Totally increase productivity because prior to the pandemic, we had to be in the office and you were tethered to your pretty much computer, and not many of us would take our computers home. So you basically worked 8 to 5. But now with the hybrid situation, you could wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, work till 10 o'clock at night if you want. So there's a whole lot of freedom there. And it's more efficient to get your job done. Also, it's given us more leeway to have more of a personal life as well, in case you need to leave for a doctor's appointment or something, then come back. You can still get your hours in, still take care of your daily functions in your job.
Mhm. Interesting. So, did you notice a witnessable increase in productivity with the implementation of new computer systems? I know you said you guys use a plethora of different computer systems, but with the addition of new ones, did you notice an increase of productivity?
Yes, because there's different options, which is nice. And particularly with SAP, you can create your own queries to make your job more efficient. So you can really delve down. And because I do work with numbers, just even, the improvements of Excel, and putting in macros and things, it's definitely made it easier.
Mhm. So, if your company was to increase to a larger scale, do you think you would be able to increase with the amount of hybrid workers, or do you see your company having a more desire for face-to-face interactions?
Well, since my company's headquarters, there's two different headquarters. One's in New York and one's in Washington State. So it's a little different because there's different parts of our company, different departments report to New York, and different departments report to Washington State. So I guess with the technology, it's definitely better to have a hybrid. I think that would increase and make it more efficient for employees to have the technology at their fingertips at home, as
Mhm.
well as when you go into the office.
Gotcha. So, could you see yourself personally advancing with the evolving rapid increase in technology, or do you personally struggle a little bit with acquiring new technological skills?
I don't really struggle, but we've used the same platform for quite a while. If there was something new, I think training purposes and everything, so many companies offer such good IT personnel that they really have good training sessions that I think I would be able to jump on board and learn something new pretty quickly because of my background and because I have been involved in different platforms.
I gotcha. So, do you think the addition of someone's whose particular skills relate to emerging technologies would be favored over somebody with hands-on work experience?
I think hands on is definitely better. But then again, in this kind of any kind of industry almost, I always say everything is teachable. Even if you come into a job, you've got to learn that new company's system. It's not like apples and apples because everybody's system is unique. So you really have to be trained. Even if I was going to work in my competitor's company, I'd still need to be trained on their particular systems and processes and so forth.
I gotcha. And do you think that you could do your job without the use of computer technology, albeit not as efficiently?
No, I do not, because I'm old and I have worked in an industry. I've been in this industry for like 40 years. Yes, I'm old. And I think when I did do it, when we didn't have computers, it was so cumbersome because I do collections, taking balances, figuring out what somebody paid. It's very, very cumbersome. And also with technology, when I'm contacting a customer for payment that's past due, say, instead of picking up the telephone, I can send an email, which is very freeing and doesn't tie me to the telephone, allows me to do multiple things, makes me definitely more efficient.
Interesting. So do you have any experience, or you or your company, with AI?
Not that I know of. Me personally, no. Um, as far as my company, I am sure they are going to be utilizing it in some way, but I can't say what because they actually, my company's manufacturing. So I'm sure they're using so much technology, things behind the scene that I am not aware of.
Right. And finally, just to wrap things up, do you think the shift in technology will affect my generation more than yours at the rate at which we see innovation today?
Oh, absolutely. Because your generation, you don't even know what it's like to not have a computer. So interaction is different with customers, just everything is different. You don't really need to talk to anybody. You can honestly do so many jobs without ever having to speak to anybody. Whereas in my generation, it's the opposite. So I think with up and coming people now getting into the job force, it's imperative to have technology and constantly updating it and having that knowledge and improving yourself so you are going to be worthy of getting bigger and better positions too. It's only going to be making yourself more marketable.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take
Yep. Have a
care.
good